This evening, in City Hall, false rumors are buried as Minister Bulkan backs mayor on parking meter blunder. Professor Griffith intends to open up financial channels for UG's shallow stream. Linden's mayor is concerned that the town clerk may be another Suba. Government moves to engage small contractors as bid protest committee is launched. In the region, in St. Lucia, widespread intrigue over cabinet format. And internationally, neighbors unmasked scandalous living arrangement involving 12 young girls.
From Safetv headquarters in South Randolph Gardens, this is Safetv Headline News with Brianna Hammond.
Headline News is now being streamed live on our YouTube channel, as well as our website, safetvguyana.com. Join us. A $10 million parking meter system will...
If they were satisfied with the contract they had signed with National Parking System, of which Smart City Solution is a part, Chase Green and Royston King said,
"We are totally satisfied."
As mayor and head of the team, after we would have met both in Panama and Mexico, we sat and we are satisfied.
Smart City Solutions, according to Chase Green, is a legitimate company operating out of Mexico and not Manhattan, as reported recently by Kaicho News.
Smart City Solutions, which was awarded the on-street parking contract last November, is part of an international consortium anchored by the largest on-street municipal parking operator in all of Latin America. Smart City Solutions will deliver a modern, environmentally friendly and state-of-the-art parking platform, which will achieve the goals of improving mobility, increasing parking space availability and turnover, reducing traffic congestion in Georgetown, and paying a fair share of its revenue to our city.
That fair share Chase Green speaks of will see Smart City Solutions investing $10 million into the project and will provide over 100 jobs to citizens. These will be trained to operate the state-of-the-art parking meters here. City Hall will also receive 20% of the proceeds directly into its treasury.
And if you calculate that it put an initial
Contract deal paid for by the National Parking Systems and not from the treasury as was reported to the press. The mayor gave the following word of caution to those spreading false statements on the deal.
It is my strong view that there is a group of individuals who wish to snatch this project and all of its benefits from the council and its citizens for their own private enterprise and personal gains. This council will not continuance with that, and it will not happen under my watch.
Mayor Chase Green said councillors can visit the town clerk's office for viewing of the contract, which is no secret. However, they are not allowed to take away the plan because of bad experiences in the past. Citizens will see meters fully operational in the city by September this year. In a subsequent newscast, we will tell you more on the benefits the parking meters will bring to drivers. Rihanna?
Thanks, Andrew. Linden's mayor is likening the issues of the town council there to those previously experienced by the Georgetown municipality. He is warning that a baby Suba might be on the rise. Mr. Holland sat down exclusively with Kingsley Bryan, who brings you this report.
New councils have been installed, and it is hoped that focus would be on the development of the towns and the persons living there. In the mining town, however, the mayor says the problems of the town cannot be truly addressed since the council itself needs fixing. Carwin Holland details a situation where the new council is found promoting unity among the staff.
There's an active movement within the council to promote cliquism and factionism. And it was there for many years. And this is something which has to be changed. We cannot continue to, you have a new mayor, deputy mayor, and council in place, and you have workers being encouraged and staff to disrespect them.
Mr. Holland outlined that these actions are being instigated by a chief administrative personnel, the town clerk. He explained that the town clerk was not being supportive of the new council's vision and that this was affecting the work of the council.
The custom, right, for many years was I do whatever I feel like. I look beyond the council and I look to some other authority in Georgetown or somewhere. This has to stop. And otherwise, we're fooling the people. The people who went out there and voted for us to elect people, leaders who are going to take the tongue forward. And yet you have one principal person holding up the entire process.
Holland said the councillors have, however, been working hard at getting financing for projects by approaching businesses and other stakeholders. He maintained that a lot of the work completed was not done with the council's money. Holland was of the view that Linden was in a situation similar to that recently experienced by the Georgetown municipality.
Well, I must say that we have a baby sober in Linden. We have a baby sober in Linden. And baby sober is growing. The fact that I believe baby sober has nutrients to feed on. Baby sober will grow until baby sober gets out of hand. So I believe this thing has nothing to do with power or so on. The people voted us there not to show off and so on. They voted us there to see action.
Linden's chief citizen said the people voted for the council to see things moving, and it was quite unfair that one person should stall development. Guyana, the mayor said chances were given to the principals involved, but they could no longer contend with these actions. As such, further action would be taken.
Thanks, Kingsley. The newly appointed Vice-Chancellor of the usually resource-challenged University of Guyana has some ideas on how the institution can start making some money. This includes the increase of fees and amendments to tax laws. This story will better explain. Professor Ivlock Griffith is the 10th Vice-Chancellor of the University of Guyana. He wants to rebuild the institution, and since funding is key, he has some ideas on how the university can generate its own revenue. This includes implementing fees that are commonly paid at universities all across the world, except for some reason, the University of Guyana.
We will have to have a conversation about how much, but we're going to have a graduation fee.
Professor Griffith is also looking at a possible increase in the fees paid by foreign students studying at the University of Guyana. This is being done as the institution works on putting together its budget proposal.
But the budget request we're going to put together will be allied with a request about revenue. How might we build our own revenue base? Fees and other things. How might we attract revenue from grants? How might we attract revenue from non-governmental sources?
The recently appointed Vice-Chancellor also highlighted the need for the amendments of certain tax laws attached to the operations of the University of Guyana.
Guyana's tax regulations, I've learned, do not give tax credit to individuals.
Can be made available to the University of Guyana, but institutional linkages need to be created, and a large part of this has to be done at the level of central government. Coming up on Headline News after the break, PBPC welcomes advice given by Brian Hunt, and water treatment process to be enhanced in Guyana.
Everybody knows John Lewis Styles as the Levi's and Dockers store. But did you know we're also an authorized dealer for Nautica, Perry Ellis, US Polo, Natural Issue, Joffrey Bean, and many others. We also carry the Bruno and Drill brands, who are actually the makers of Express shirts, at half the price of Express. So the next time you think of men's clothing, shoes, and accessories, there's only one choice. John Lewis Styles. Simply different.
With a distinctive flavor, Umda Palka ghee is made from 100% pure vegetable oil. This Palka ghee is a delight when preparing sweetmeats and other dishes for healthy cooking with a rich buttery taste and aroma. It is used for religious purposes and is a principal fuel for burning. Umda Palka ghee is light, pure, with a real ghee texture.
Only at Kissoon's can you get the guaranteed offer of up to 50% discount on every item in their blowout factory surplus sale. 50%. You're in the mood to celebrate at Kissoon's. Once you want it, Kissoon's will make sure
Although they were at loggerheads on many issues, the People's Progressive Party Civic has welcomed the advice given by Brian Hunt, the outgoing charge d'affaires of the U.S. Embassy here in Guyana. This report contains the details. Advised the country on some topical matters, including the ending of the winner-takes-all politics, as well as the commencing of constitutional reform.
We wouldn't necessarily see eye to eye on all the issues that he raised, but that is nothing unusual, for political parties and diplomats, or governments and diplomats not to see eye to eye. I see, for example, Mr. Granger not agreeing with the question of the death penalty.
That was Clement Rohi, General Secretary of the opposition People's Progressive Party Civic, sharing his views on Hunt's farewell speech.
There are a number of things that Mr. Hunt said that I think, warrants consideration. And there are a number of issues which he said also that we may not see eye to eye with, but this is a normal course of things in relation to either relation between countries or relation between, political parties and so forth.
What was not quite normal, though, was the previous Minister of Education being booed by an audience of diplomats, politicians, and media operatives.
Like his president, Barack Obama, there exists a red line. This ambassador has crossed.
Persons with a nominee of the Attorney General's chamber being the chairperson in accordance with the regulations.
On the matter of transparency, it was Minister Harmon who had revealed that there was a part in the laws of Guyana which stated that 20% of all government contracts must be given to small contractors on an annual basis. However, that law was never a fresh look at the qualification of contractors who need jobs. Rihanna?
Thanks, Andrew. Residents of Diamond can now breathe a sigh of relief as their water woes should soon come to an end. GWI has found the cause of the recent water disruptions and is in the process of completing long-term solutions. The good news applies not only to East Bank residents, but also to citizens throughout Guyana. Here's George Gonzalez with more.
Guyana Water Incorporated has put in place temporary measures designed to be able to withstand the acidic nature of the water. GWI plans to drill 2 more wells in Diamond, each estimated at about $140 million, and by year's end, all long-term solutions should be in place. The corrosion affecting the well in Diamond caused leakage, an increase in water turbidity, or the cloudiness of the water, and other pumping issues.
The original quality of the casing would have been a very smooth and shiny material. And as you can see, over 75% of the material has been pitted heavily. And this is basically the reaction of the highly acidic nature of the water.
According to CEO of GWI, Dr. Van West Charles, Diamond is not the only community whose well has suffered from corrosion. In total, 17 wells throughout Guyana require replacement as soon as possible. The cost of the replacement is estimated to be around $200 million. Dr. Charles attributed most of the issues that existed to poor planning by the previous administration.
Had you had proper planning with respect to proper calculations with respect to demand and supply, they would have planned differently with respect to this burgeoning population. And this comes down to the need for an integration between planning and housing and the production of water.
Georgetown will also see an improvement to its water quality. GWI is in the process of replacing the filter systems at the Sophia and Central treatment plants. Additionally, the utility company has replaced the sand used in these filtration systems. To increase public confidence in the water quality, GWI and 3 other independent laboratories will frequently test the water and publish the results. It is hoped that by this time next year, citizens of Guyana will have access to high-quality water from wells that should last for the next 20 years. Back to you, Rihanna.
Thanks, George. Police are searching for 3 assailants in connection to a robbery that occurred at the Green Ice taxi mechanic shop in South Rhinefeldt Gardens. On Sunday around 3 p.m., 3 men entered the mechanic's shop and robbed an employee of an undisclosed amount of money and a cell phone. One of the men, who was armed, then shot 15-year-old Jamal Lewis, a trainee mechanic, above the left eye. Lewis was rushed to the Georgetown Public Hospital where he underwent surgery, and his condition was reportedly listed as stable. Police have examined security camera footage of the attack and are searching for leads. Still ahead, our regional and international news.
Women's fashion trends change every day. That's why John Lewis Styles makes it their duty to source items directly from the manufacturing brand, offering you more choices and better prices. Women love to look great, whether it's for work or play. From clothing, shoes, accessories, to handbags, watches, fragrances. Let's make you feel like the only girl in the world. John Lewis Styles. Simply different.
With a distinctive flavor, palkagi is made from 100% pure vegetable oil. This palkagi is a delight when preparing sweetmeats and other dishes for healthy cooking with a rich buttery taste and aroma. It is used for religious purposes and is a principal fuel for burning. Palkagi is light, pure, with a real ghee texture.
Don't let this moment in history pass you by. Kissoons want every Guyanese home to showcase a new piece of furniture to remember this glorious event of our Jubilee celebration. Kissoons have gone crazy. Every item is on sale right through this year in the Big Broad Factory Surplus Sale, up to 50% off for the 50th birthday at Kissoons.
This place is really hot. What's wrong with your AC?
It's not working.
Well, we wouldn't be able to continue this meeting anymore because this place is extremely hot.
Wait, please don't go.
Here's a company you can call to get your AC fixed. Action Cool.
Honey, what's dinner? I had a hard day.
I'm sorry you had a hard day, but guess what, babes? I didn't cook today because the stove is not working.
Having trouble at home or at the office? Then call the professionals at Action Cool. Our fully trained technical team have the skills and experience in repairs of all air-conditioned units, refrigerators, gas stoves, washing machines, and a whole lot more. For further information, visit us at 86 Hill and Princess Street, Mandela Avenue, Georgetown, or call us on telephone number 225-7867.
In news from the region now, in St. Lucia, Prime Minister Alan Chastney is responding to the apparent widespread intrigue surrounding the configuration of his corporate boardroom-styled cabinet format. Prime Minister Chastney tells HTS News Force that the public will be fully briefed on the new roles of his cabinet in the coming weeks.
Prime Minister Alan Chastney has appointed 15 ministers in his cabinet to run 8 key government ministries. Prime Minister Chastney's cabinet format has seemingly confounded some sections of civil society who are seeking further clarification. There has been no official explanation from the office of the Prime Minister since the June 14th swearing-in ceremony. However, the Prime Minister promises to elaborate in due course.
It is something new, and it's going to take a little while for everybody to truly understand it, but the fundamental is that we have 8 ministries. And we have ministers that are focusing on specific areas, and we're working as teams. We think that this is important at this juncture, that we look to set a path forward, because unfortunately the country is not on a good financial setting. But hopefully in the weeks to come, I can be able to address the nation in terms of telling people specifically what's taking place in the country and how we believe this structure will help us moving forward.
The previous Dr. Kenny Anthony-led St. Lucia Labour Party administration established 14 government ministries. Financial sources estimate the average monthly wage bill of the former SLP government at just under EC $150,000. The total monthly salary of Prime Minister Chasney's executive, excluding the Attorney General, is estimated at over EC $160,000.
They are full-fledged ministers, taking on responsibilities for ministries. But you'll know that government's real role is to be the policymaker and the regulator. So it's very important that we look to see how we can share administrative costs, because in essence that's what we're doing, and trying to now put technical committees. So for instance, the Productivity Committee, my ministry is the Ministry of Growth, Economic Growth, and also Employment Generation. So trade, commerce, tourism, manufacturing, all those ministries which contribute to that are clustered together. And what we're doing is sharing one administrative force, but making sure on a daily basis that our plans are coincided.
The Prime Minister maintains the refined cabinet is administratively cost-effective and efficient.
We have actually less ministers than we had last time. And as time goes by and then the government takes the form of this new structure, we'll then start seeing the cost savings, but more importantly, I'm hoping that we're going to see greater efficiency.
Moreover, Prime Minister Chasney's appointment of Dr. Eubaldus Raymond as Minister in the Ministry of Finance, observers contend, contravenes sections of the Constitution. Some critics claim that Prime Minister Chasney's cabinet is analogous to a corporation, alleging the cabinet cluster model is in breach of established conventions on governance.
And internationally, a neighbor reached out to authorities after she suspected something inside the house next door wasn't right. 12 underage girls were living with a man. More in this ABC News report.
On this quiet street in Bucks County, Pennsylvania, Jen Betts said she knew something wasn't right at the home of 51-year-old Lee Kaplan.
I knew it, so that's what I'm going through. I saw these little girls, I saw their face. I saw them often enough that, I knew they were like crying for help.
Calling a child abuse hotline to report her suspicions about the home where she saw several girls all in blue dresses. Police scouring the property where they say 12 girls, ranging from 6 months to 18 years old, lived with Kaplan. The 18-year-old, authorities say, telling police Kaplan fathered her 2 children. He now faces charges including statutory sexual assault. Her parents, who authorities say arranged for the then 14-year-old girl to live with Kaplan, both charged with endangering the welfare of a child. Police say they claim the other 9 girls found in the home are also their daughters. Jen Betts says she called the child abuse line once before a few years ago.
I've been looking at them for years, watching, going by that house, and I feel as though I could have done more.
Her neighbors thankful tonight she picked up the phone again.
Jen is basically a hero. Jen took it upon herself to take the initiative and make the call.
They're away from a potential serious predator. I mean, that's at the end of the day, they are now nowhere near him.
Tonight, law enforcement telling us they received several calls on the property. Police investigating just how these girls lived. They're now in custody of the county.
And that's Safetv 2 Headline News for this Monday evening. As we take our leave, we invite you to find Safetv 2 Headline News on Facebook, YouTube, and safetvguyana.com. You can also tune in tomorrow morning at 6:30 for a rebroadcast and Tuesday evening at 7 o'clock for more news. I'm Rehan Ahmed signing out from this newscast. Do have a blessed evening.